What's up, everyone? Welcome. Kicking it stateside. Special Thursday edition this week. We got a lot to talk about per usual. We got Champions League. We're down to our final four. We'll get into the matchups. We'll go over the games that have been going on this week. Also, we got Europa League going down right now. Barcelona on the ropes and probably heading out of Europa League. We got CONCACAF Champions League finally settling. The final has been determined, and with that, obviously, we got the Prem going on. We got the title race just pretty much at a standstill right now. Nothing different. We'll go over that game from this past weekend between Liverpool and City. But enough talk from me. Let's rock out, boys. You know what time it is. We got a lot to talk. No more. Let's freaking rock out.
Let's go! Dit ain't the fuck like before this thing he stinks!
Oh shit!
It's gone!
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. Kicking it stateside live here on A2D Radio in the world of soccer, aka your favorite sport, football. Our show is brought to you by the Good Doc at SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com. Number one in South Jersey, number one in our hearts. Check them out, SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com for all your good therapy needs. Adam Modick, Brian, for a special Thursday edition of Kicking It Stateside. We have Champions League to talk about, Europa League to talk about. Obviously, with the Prem, the title race is going to come down to the last probably game, I would assume, at this point.
It's good. It's about time.
I mean, it's we haven't had, I feel like, a good title race in a few years. I feel like the last few have been pretty much wrapped up at this point in the past couple seasons. So it's nice to get that. We're pretty much going to come down. It's a 1-point lead. You got, a good draw over the weekend, which was deserving for both teams, I think. I think it would have been really unfair and harsh for either team to lose that game. So a draw, I definitely think, is fair and works out for both teams going forward. But, I mean, you got Liverpool rocking and rolling in Champions League, City rocking and rolling in Champions League. So, Brian, that kind of brings us to our poll question today, rolling right into it. Liverpool and City will be battling each other for the Champions League and Prem titles. Agree or disagree? At this point, I got to say agree. I think that these two teams, City and Liverpool, are the best two teams in Europe, bar none, this season. So I feel like it wouldn't do us justice enough if these two teams weren't in it as like neutrals. Obviously, both these as fans of Prem teams, you might not want to see that happen. But I think the best game is going to be Liverpool and City because, again, you kind of get another preview because they play each other in the FA Cup this weekend. So it's kind of like this would be a third time already that these two teams will play and then possibly meet in the Champions League. So, I mean, what do you think? What's the crash course here? You think these two teams are just destined for each other, I guess?
Well, first of all, BetUSA is the sponsor of our poll question, as usual. BetUS is the leading online sports book, and it has been in the market for 25 years. You can bet anywhere on everything in the USA. Click the link. You see it up on the thing. Get in. It's in the comments. 125% off sign-up bonus. It seems like destiny's kind of leading us that way. I mean, the battle is without a doubt, unless something crazy happens, this thing's going down to the wire, like you said earlier in the Prem. Not to give up our picks for the Final Four too early in the show, as far as, when we're going to kind of break down the two matchups there, but I'll do it because we've been so harsh on them. We've been so tough on them. Thanks, Tommy.
Yeah. Compliments.
And this constant battle between you as a Chelsea fan, I as a Liverpool or Arsenal fan, and the Liverpool contingent in our group chats and all of that. Liverpool is the best team remaining right now. On paper, the way they're playing, the way they're scoring. So they're absolutely a shoo-in. City, it's going to be questionable. I mean, as a Chelsea fan, you saw this Madrid team. It's not a bad team. Out of the two between Madrid and Barcelona that were both kind of in this rebuild in Spain, it's clear cut that Madrid has gotten it right quicker than Barcelona at this point, especially with Barcelona about to be knocked out of Europa and Madrid going to the Final Four here of the Champions League. But it is tough to take City off of this. Like you said, it just seems like it's kind of destined with the FA Cup, with the draw this past weekend, and the way they've played each other tough of recent. I don't see either one of them necessarily letting down. Neither one of them drop points to bad teams for the most part. This is going to be probably a pretty battle to the end. I'm going to only disagree for the sake of the show and just the fact that City are, I mean, what are they known for? They're known for choking when it comes to winning this title in Europe. They still don't have a Champions League title. And I think that still might haunt them picking up Madrid over Villarreal out of the two, if you could pick. I know Villarreal surprised some people beating my mighty Bayern, but I would say out of the four, if you had to pick one to be your opponent, everybody and their mother is going to pick Villarreal first.
Yeah, it seems that, and again, I know our wonderful fan of the program, good friend of ours, Lord Walker, has stated, it's not exactly an easy, draw, having Villarreal being, that one team that's like, all right, if there's any of the any teams remaining, that's the one you would want.
Yeah,
but they're not exactly an easy out.
No, they're clearly not an easy out, and no one's saying, I don't want anybody misconstruing me being like, oh, and after what they just did to Bayern, they're probably defensively the best team remaining out of the four. The way Unai has these guys playing, and they shut down that potent Bayern offense to one goal in 2 games. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they're definitely nothing to shake a stick at, but if you just saw 4 crests sitting up there, and one was Liverpool, one was City, one was Real Madrid, and one was Villarreal, and you said pick your opponent, I mean, we all know most people are still going to point at that Villarreal one.
Exactly. Yeah, David. Good seeing you, by the way, David. Gotta have you come on a little bit more, bud. When is the UEFA Champions League semis going to be picking up? That will be played the first game. We got Man City versus Real Madrid at the Etihad on April 26th. That is a Tuesday. And then the other match between Liverpool and Villarreal will be that next day on the 27th, both at 3 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah, basically as some other sports here are ramping up for their playoffs in our country, we'll be getting ready to play that Final Four. So it's exciting, man. We're getting down to that nitty gritty of the end of the year, I guess we call it, for the big leagues. Obviously, our domestic league is just ramping up. So it's kind of the start of the year for MLS, but it's getting to the end of the year for everybody else. And we're getting that excitement of having a real battle for the first time since you and I have done this show for the Premier League. A really exciting Champions League. Europa's looking like it's going to be pretty entertaining here. So it's one thing after another, and it's awesome. Barca did get a goal here in the 84th minute, so I guess we can't write them dead yet. They are still trailing in aggregate 2-4 to Frankfurt. So it's a big upset.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like, at this point, Europa League, Frankfurt's up, 3-1 and 4-2 on aggregate right now. So it's going to take Barcelona to get 2 more goals here to even take it to extra time. But, I mean, you get a team in West Ham, Prem team that looks like they're on their way to a semifinals of Europa League. They're up pretty comfortably on Lyon, 3-0 for the game, and then 4-1 for the aggregate. So it looks like they're going to be moving on. And then good old Rangers, Eddie's Rangers, getting 2 goals.
They may have just conceded.
Oh, they might have.
They may have just conceded up a man to push this thing. I said this is going to be the only entertaining game. Like, it's crazy.
Which is insane because Braga is down a man currently. For the last. Yes, they did.
Yeah,
they did absolutely.
And all these games today started 1-1 in aggregate, which was crazy. Like, you knew they were going to be battles back and forth, and then you start to look up at the scoreboard and you're like, oh, 3-2. Leipzig was the one that's over so far. They did move on. They beat Atalanta 2-0. So
what did I say? Talking shit about the Bundesliga. You got 2 teams from the Bundesliga in the semis.
Yeah, yes. Then now it almost I think they took that goal away from Barca too. So I think Frankfurt's safe, man. It's 87th minute. They pulled that goal from Barca off the board. It looks like it was originally registered to Busquets. So Frankfurt, of all teams, I was watching the first leg of this at the pizza place with my son after his haircut, when we do our haircut and pizza, and he was like, "What?" Like, he could just see the first leg was at Frankfurt. I mean, the place was rocking. It was a 1-1 draw, and he was asking so many questions, and I'm like, "That's a monstrous win to get a 1-1 draw for Frankfurt against Barcelona, even at home." And now for Frankfurt to go on the road to Barca and win 3-0.
Handily,
it's tough times in that part of Spain, I can tell you.
Absolutely. Dan, I would never forget about the Conference League. How could I not? That was going on. That's going on right now as well. Yeah, Europa Conference League.
How could you forget? Tammy Abraham's just scoring goals left and right for Roma still.
Yeah, they are handling their business. 4-0 currently against Bodo and Glimt. Marseille looks like they're gonna advance. They're up 1-0, 3-1 on aggregate over PAOK Salonika.
Dimitri Payet
with an absolute stunner the first leg. If you haven't seen it, look that up. I think that was this. No, that was the.
It was last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think right. It was last week.
Yeah, it was. It was the first leg of that game, and absolute insane half volley. Leicester, the Foxes get a late goal from Pereira to get them through to the next round. They beat Eindhoven 2-1. So they are through to the semis of the Europa Conference League. I don't know, Miner Solomon.
So Miner Solomon is like Dan's favorite player because he's always talking about Miner Solomon. Yes, it sounds like 100% he's going to Fulham, as Fulham is trying to bolster their roster.
Make another Prem run
in the Prem return. There was a lot of talks about this kid coming to the Prem. About a year ago, it was more directed at some of the, I guess, bigger clubs. Arsenal was one of them, although after the last 2 weeks here, I hesitated and burped when I wanted to say the word bigger club. Not coincidence, the way they played. But no, I mean, honestly, I think that's a better move for him anyway, to go to a team like Fulham. If that goes down 100%. Yeah, he was linked to Arsenal.
Yeah, I remember Dan talking
Yeah.
about him a little bit last year, how he was getting linked to the some bigger
He's a good
clubs.
young Israeli player, man. Good player in the midfield, good on the ball. So I kind of hope it is official and he definitely goes to Fulham and we get a chance to watch him next year because they are. I don't see anybody catching them at this point, and they are definitely coming back without a doubt, no question.
Yeah, so that'll be an interesting thing to keep an eye on for. I mean, that's got to be big as an Israeli fan, Dan, huh? Get a nice young player in the Prem. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's official.
Okay. Yeah, I believe him. He's been all over it.
I was gonna say you're the man that's in charge of that.
You handle that region for us. You're that regional correspondent for us. Speaking of breaking news today as well, in the search for our opponent in the first World Cup game in Qatar, we do have some resolution. Ukraine and Scotland will be playing on June 1st to get that game settled. So the winner of that then can move on to play Wales, I believe, around June 24th, somewhere in that time. But they are definitely 100% now playing that game between Ukraine and Scotland as a date. So we're a little bit closer to officially knowing who we are playing in that opening game of the World Cup.
Yeah, I did see that. They finally announced that. I mean, I'm assuming they're going to try and get the next game, whoever wins that against Wales, pretty much done within like the next, I would say, week to try and just have it all settled.
I'm almost positive that one was pre-scheduled for like the end of June. It's only a couple weeks off though, I think, from that date. But
right.
Yeah.
I mean, at least we have a date to say, like, all right.
We'll know before the 4th of July which country we're going to be talking junk about as we're lighting off our fireworks and screaming our heads off.
It would be a bad. I mean, depends on who we play, but
yeah. Well, yeah. We might want to be careful with that one.
I mean, it's one of those that if Ukraine gets through and wins these 2 games, it's one of those where you're like, because then you got that, the whole world's going to be behind them, and it's kind of like you get that little bit of momentum and push, and then.
Yeah, I don't want to sound anti-Ukrainian, but I would love Scotland to just handle their business in that game and knock them out, and let it be a decision between Scotland and Wales who we play for the first game, and that just changes. It changes the whole group if Ukraine gets in there. It's like you said. It's that, and you can't change that in sports. It's one of those things in sports that happens all the time, and a lot of good teams end up losing to teams that are just playing with such momentum and fan support.
I mean, I think Ukraine's the best out of the 3 by a slim margin, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got through and they were that 3rd team to get in, but
Damn, Russia's not getting any chance to qualify. That ship has sailed.
Yeah, I don't. At least not this World Cup. Maybe
no, they'll be back by 26.
But yeah, that's they're trying to get this thing in because I know they're trying to focus on friendlies getting scheduled, and obviously we have the the Nations League this summer coming up. That's another tournament that we'll get to be talking about as I think, when does that start? June?
I think sometime in June, yeah.
So as the summer months start to approach, well, that's something that we'll probably be looking into. No need to really harp on that too much, but
no, not at this point. There's so much coming up that
yeah, it's again, it's going to be a summer filled with. It's a good time to have the MLS going on, obviously, and then we got the friendlies, Nations League. We'll start probably. You're going to start to see some form of like who. Uncle Greggy's going to call into camp for this U.S. team in November. So Again, there's still a lot to be determined. I think he's claiming that it's going to come down to club form, but you know, we've seen John Brooks be in pretty good club form and not even be called into camp for these the last couple windows for the US, so I
Yeah.
don't believe that. So
I don't believe anything he says. So that's, I mean,
that's true.
yeah.
When Pep Guardiola takes over the US team in 2026, maybe we'll be more excited.
Yeah. Pep or Jesse. The way Jesse's got Leeds playing,
I don't know. Leeds is playing very good.
yeah. That's a nice window, though. That'll give him 2 years to really make his mark in the Prem with Leeds, and then it'll be a perfect time to go take that job and lead us on our home soil. Speaking of teams making a rise, too, just to put our eyeball on the championship, because I know, since we were talking about Fulham there, and they're 10 points clear of Bournemouth even for first place. So they're going on. Bournemouth's grasping to second place. But Huddersfield has climbed up to third.
Yeah.
Nottingham has climbed up to fourth. Good old Luton Town is still in the mix. So there is the chance that we could have that lovely field as a Prem field next season. And then Sheffield is still trying to make their way back, and Blackburn with Middlesbrough and Millwall kind of hanging. Coventry's dropping. So that race is getting tight. That's going to be an awesome, fun playoff, I think.
Yeah, that third team, it's going to be, I think we're going to be, no matter who wins the playoff game, I think we're going to be excited about who it is because it's going to be a different squad. I think it's going to be the Forest, though, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're
and
playing really, really good this year. They got a good mix of, some vets and some really good young kids, some of them that are on loan. And, I just think it's like the perfect mix. And, they've somehow when you get that mojo going and it's a positive thing and, they showed that they can play with some of the big boys. They took Liverpool, they played, their hearts out and came up a little short. But, Steve Cooper is a great manager. He's proven that before in the championship. And, and Chris Hughton took them over last year when I kind of put my jinx on Forest there when they botched the last 6 games a couple years ago when all they needed to do was grab maybe 4 points out of the last 6 games and failed to do that. And then they were in 24th, I believe, last year at some point before Chris Hughton finally got fired. So props to Steve Cooper in the tricky trees. And I hope that we could get the Forest back in the Prem. But I wouldn't mind a Huddersfield either, or a Luton Town. I couldn't even imagine that team and that field being in the Premier League, though.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting for the away fans traveling there, and they're told they're only allowed like 300 tickets.
Well, it's like taking a step back in time with like the Forest or Luton Town being in the Prem. You're like, what is this, like the 80s now? Like,
it's been a minute. So especially before it became such big business.
Exactly.
They keep adding. Oh, Jakey, what's up, man?
Jake agrees to the poll. He thinks it's Liverpool City going to fight it out for Champions League and the Prem. You're not wrong, man. I don't know. I said there. I think Liverpool is a slight advantage of the best team in Europe right now, with City a very close second. So I think they're going to be the team. They're going to be the last two.
I think
Villarreal just coming up and being super defensive and winning a close 2 legs, like 2-1 maybe or something like that, where they can get a 0-0 as an away leg. So I don't know.
And Liverpool has a ton of firepower. I'm gonna put them on a pedestal for a little bit because we've done so much talking junk about them. But right now, I mean, out of the 4 left, if I had to pick, if you gun to head, had to pick a winner, I think they're the favorite. They have to be. The way they've gone through teams, they've put goals up. They've kind of fought through some stuff, so they're healthy. They have a lot of scorers.
I mean, we've been we've been pretty realistic with what we feel with Liverpool, and I know some Liverpool fans think we're too harsh on them and that we've picked on them this year a little bit more. But honestly, though, we've kissed their ass this whole show, and they probably are the best team in Europe this year, hands down. But to flip it, and for me, that was hard to really say nice things about Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp talking and complaining again about schedule fixtures is just
I mean,
mind-boggling because
I've had enough
guess
of him.
what, Jurgen?
Yes.
This is what happens when you're still in 3 competitions in the end of the season. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
You're going to be playing twice a week probably. You're in an FA Cup. You're in Champions League and the Prem. Like, suck it up, bro. Like,
because Jurgen's German and Jurgen wants a Super League because Germans like things big and he wants that's his the Liverpool Lord Walker's been very clear about his opinion on a Super League. They have that, after we talk nice about them, they have that little way about them now all of a sudden that they think they're superior to everybody. So they are big proponents of the Super League, and I think that's a big part of it as well with him. Because if you have just the Super League, then you're not having a Champions League / Premier League schedule. You're just having your Super League plus whatever, you'll still play FA Cup and League Cup, I guess, because there's still English competitions. But I don't know.
I just thought that was like so ridiculous to say. Like, I understand, and yes, but at the same time, it's gonna happen if you're still in 3 competitions towards the end of the season.
It is what it is. Yeah, they're good problems to have. We always talk about the good problems to have in sports. That's a big one.
It's like you're fighting for 3 trophies.
Yeah. Oh, look at that! Dan's actually going to watch the Prem next year.
I did see that it was Fulham is going to announce that signing in the next couple days, if not already. Yeah. Get an Israeli guy in your team, Dan's in there.
You want to tell me the FA is not corrupt by telling me the FA is corrupt by looking at this game and seeing that there's 12 extra minutes and Barcelona has now come back and scored 2 goals and are within 1 goal of sending this thing to extra time? How is there wherever do you get 12 minutes of stoppage time in a game?
I saw a dude got sent off for Frankfurt.
Yeah, in the 100th minute of regular time. He was probably like, dude, I'm done. Like, this game's over. He probably went nuts on the ref.
What's up, Daly?
And now Barcelona has scored again. So it's finally official. It only took 103 minutes of the FA trying to keep Barcelona alive.
They tried so hard.
Yeah.
Got so far. In the end, it doesn't even matter.
Oh, nice reference.
I know.
Good old Frankfurt.
They're having a decent season in the Bundesliga. They're like 6th or so.
My dad spent some time in Frankfurt as a young boy, as a young lad.
It's a nice city. It's one of the bigger cities in Germany.
Yeah, he
Very
lived
nice
there
airport.
He lived there after the war for a few years on the base. And,
nice.
So, repping Frankfurt hard. So they are moving on. West Ham officially moved on as well, and we are in a real extra time, the real 91st minute of Rangers Braga. Rangers still up that man, though, so adding another 30 minutes up a man, if they do lose, they deserve every little bit of it. So
I was going to say, if somehow Braga can pull that off and at this point, they probably have everybody behind the ball just trying to defend their lives away, so if they can pull that one, kudos to you. You deserve it. But I still think Rangers are a better team than Braga.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though Braga's actually performed pretty well in Europa League as of the past couple of years. So
yeah, Braga's definitely got to sit back and just
try to
get that thing to penalties, without a doubt.
Dan, I'm sorry. I saw you put this a couple times. I know who John Herdman is.
Yeah, Dan's super excited.
John Herdman's the Canada coach, yeah?
John Herdman's the Canada coach.
Is that
Yeah.
assistant coaches, Jeff Mallett? I'm sorry, I don't know Canadian soccer players.
No, the other one of them is the Whitecaps coach.
Oh, nice.
Danny was at the Whitecaps game the other day, repping hard.
John Herdman. So. Hey, I respect that guy, taking women and men to World Cups.
Yeah, he
seems like he has some passion, which I think we need from our manager. But
yeah, our manager has fake passion. It's like
it's almost like
they try to show that he has passion. And you like watch these like video clips of him, but he's like, I wouldn't run through a wall for him. Like listening to him for 10 minutes, I'd be like, all right.
I forget which game it was. I think it might have been. It was either the Mexico game or this last game against Costa Rica, where it was like a stoppage in play, and Pulisic was coming over to slug some water, and Greg's trying to tell him what to do, and Pulisic's just like not even listening to him.
Yeah, it's a terrible sign.
The JT Realmuto like eye roll, like,
and
sure, Greg, whatever you say, man. Like,
yeah, you hope that it's not a Pulisic, and like I saw that. I remember saying that, and I'm like, that better not be like. I get it because I'm not a Greg fan either, but I just don't want that to be like a Pulisic thing where he thinks he's better than any coach.
I don't think he gets along with Greg at all, because in that press conference when Gio and Pulisic were talking about, when they did their presser together. And one of the reporters brought up that when that run Gio made against Mexico reminded him of Maradona, Pulisic just broke out laughing like, bro, come on. Like, This guy's like, are you really going to compare those two? Not saying Gio can't be a great or will be a great player, but he's like, oh my God, he would say that much. Too.
Poor Gio hurt again, too.
It's tough. Just shut the man down. Just get him ready for November. I don't even care if he doesn't play for Dortmund until then.
Yeah, I mean, you still gonna have to roster. He's 100% rostering him in November as long as he's healthy.
Well, the problem with sitting him, he needs to play or he's not going to get called up.
I know, which is ridiculous because the talent is there. I think it's especially if it's still hamstring related. They're naggy and they take a long time.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, so they should just leave him alone and make sure he's ready to go come November.
I don't understand. I feel for the kid, and he's so young. It's like it's just brutal to see him just in tears again, coming off really within minutes of the game. Literally, I think it was the second minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's your answer. I knew Mallett had something to do with.
Oh, nice. Timbers 2. Nice. Versus Whitecaps 2. Gotta love it. Whitecaps aren't doing so hot, Danny, I don't think.
That's why he goes to Whitecaps 2 games.
Oh, right. Scouting the future.
Yeah, trust me, there was a point where I was looking at tickets for Red Bull 2 games as opposed to the regular Red Bull. They're my only team that at least gave me a little hope, although they let me down again this weekend too. I had control of the game. I turned my back for about 10 minutes. I thought I could run into the kitchen and do some stuff, and came back and they were down 2-1 and the game was about to be over. So, but they are, I would say, still overperforming of maybe expectations.
Slightly, yes.
Ever so slightly at this point. So I'm still fine with them right now. That's why I put them on today, because there was not a chance I was putting an Arsenal jersey on today. I don't even know going into this weekend. I have zero confidence at all.
It's looking pretty bad. I thought it was rough against Palace, but that was...
Well, you called it. I mean, if we want to go there...
Pathetic.
Talking about Granit Xhaka playing left back, I mean, I get with your hands being kind of tied and trying to come up with ideas that would work. And I didn't totally hate it, other than the fact that I knew a guy like Trossard, who doesn't generally perform, is going to take full advantage of a matchup like that. And he did, and we lost. So here we are, all those extra games in hand against poor opponents, wasted. and we're going to struggle for fourth.
Kind of got outworked by the Gulls there.
Yeah, that's all it was. And I mean, you're two big injuries when you're missing a left back that is becoming world class, and you're missing a center midfielder who was kind of taking over the role as the man on that team in Thomas. It's just you see those gaps real quick. Like you're already playing man down at right back with Cedric in there. Now you got to be short in left back, and they didn't really have a backup plan. Oh, it's super sketchy back there. I don't know. He's got to come up with something, an old school back four or something, and put Cedric on the left and maybe Rob Holding on the right. I don't know.
Whoa, Robbie.
Yeah, I mean, you got to defend because they clearly they're. It's not like they're losing these games and they're just not getting scoring, and they're not defending either, and they're putting themselves in holes against bad teams.
Yeah, I mean, Smith Rowe was looking so good a couple months ago, and ever since he's kind of got that little knock, he hasn't really looked the same.
Yeah, there's been some
production.
And then trying to get everybody onto the pitch together with trying to keep Martinelli hot. You know what the easy solution was? Don't start Lacazette at striker and start one of the other guys at striker. Then you can get them all on the pitch. Dude, I like that's one thing driving me crazy. You can't. And I don't know if this is Arteta's loyalty, if it's coming from the office because of money and they're trying to maximize, their resale value for in the summer here, but it's you just can't do it anymore. Even as bad as Eddie's been, like you got to get somebody else out there.
That's the problem. I mean, who do you put out there again? And Nketiah hasn't been that good either, to be honest.
No, but I don't know. I keep saying Pepe or Gabby. Put one of them two up top and just let it ride. What do you have to lose at this point?
Well, I mean, as an Arsenal fan, I would say kind of like how it was for Chelsea. I'm like, if we don't go to Southampton and beat the hell out of them, there's something wrong because they're in really bad form. Very bad form. And they did. And now I would pass that to you. And then I would say that as an Arsenal fan, I'm like, we need to go to Southampton and beat them like 3-0, no less.
Absolutely. Because we need goal differential back now, too, with Spurs poking their head into the mix.
And it's a good time to play Southampton because, again, like...
You say that, but, they're coming off getting themselves rocked. And this is like typical of Arsenal. Southampton's going to be all pumped up now because they just got their asses beat, and Arsenal's going to think that they have another easy game, and I don't know. This is going to be where I start turning off the TV and just watching my phone and keeping my mind occupied elsewhere because spending all that energy and all that time waiting for these games, getting ready and sitting down and dedicating 2 hours to watch these things and to get the performances I've gotten in the last two, I can't do it. I got to walk away and just hope that my team does it. And I feel better that way.
I feel you. Eric, hello, sir. Welcome. I feel like I haven't seen you on here in a while.
Yeah, and you missed all the good stuff we said about Liverpool, so I'm not going to say anything more the rest of the show, probably.
He also missed the bad stuff, too, though. So.
That's true.
That's true, Dan. Whitecaps were terrible last year, but somehow got in the playoffs. Yeah. I'm used to that with the Union, too, as well, but a little different this year, which concerns me with the hot start. And Supporter Shield winners and conference winners never win the whole thing.
No, it just does not pan out that way in MLS. So I no longer value any regular season title in MLS at all. I got super excited a couple of years ago when we took that Supporters Shield, and it looked like we were going to roll to a title, and not so much.
No. Yeah, that's what kind of scares me a little bit. I'm like, yeah, great start to the season. I'm sure we'll be fighting for one or two, at least the way it looks and barring any injuries, but I would not just historically, and definitely how we came out after winning the Supporter Shield 2 years ago. I would not want to win that because we looked very slow and just very rusty coming off, a 2-week bye essentially without playing any competitive matches. And the guys you play in that 8-1 game have just played like a few days before that with the playing game. So it's a tricky one. Yes, my Zoom. Yes, my kitchen looks like a Zoom background. You can thank the old lady for that because that's all her.
She handles the decor.
Props for her.
Breaking news! It looks like I don't have a name of who yet, but it does look like Rangers have gotten on the board here in the first grouping or first leg of extra time. So they take a 3-1 lead in the game and a 3-2 in the aggregate here. So.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really said a favorite.
The only thing that I said was gun to head, if I had to pick one team remaining, Liverpool would be it. But I didn't necessarily say.
I think we both.
So that's a way of saying that. Yeah, that's a way of saying they're the favorite.
I would say yes. We both have Liverpool. I think, again, barring any crazy injuries or, I don't know, just Villarreal coming out and just absolutely parking the bus and playing super defensively, kind of like they played against Bayern. It's tough to stop that Liverpool attack. Even, Bobby Blue Eyes, who doesn't even get a lot of PT, recently is scoring goals for them. Even
that's the thing. I mean, I would
rotated squad member having him off the bench is pretty insane. So
I would
they are the favorites. Yes,
there's a part of me that definitely would love to see an all Spanish Champions League final at this point. Yeah. So just because of the two Premier League teams that are remaining.
Well, it could be. I mean, remember when Atletico made that run? They weren't supposed to get there, and they played Real Madrid in the Champions League final that year, I believe. I forget what season that was, but they, same story. Same Diego Simeone style of play. Just kind of sit back. They play such boring football, though.
It is. Yeah, it is. I mean, we talked about that in the last show about
plays that way. And I know if Lord Walker was listening, he would probably say, "Well, Tuchel plays that, against good teams." I'm like, yeah, that's very true. But I think we could at least score a goal.
You play to your strengths. You play to your players. For most people, it's an awfully boring.
Yeah. 2017. I remember Atletico made that crazy run that kind of like put them on the map per se.
It's a
Diego Simeone coming out party with all those guys.
It's a frustrating way to watch your team sometimes because you know what's going to happen and you know how the game's going, and the moment you concede that one, it's like it's so hard to then get that make that change and then all of a sudden just try to become offensive and get back into a game that way. So it's like when you play that way, that first goal becomes so crucial. And as a supporter, it's a very nerve-wracking, uneasy way to watch your team play.
Well, yeah, and we were saying, what was that? At some point recently, we had the poll question about, the away goals rule. And even in that Chelsea-Madrid game, it wouldn't even have mattered because both teams scored 3 away goals.
Yeah, it was balanced,
Which you have those rare cases where it's like, okay, it wouldn't have mattered, if that rule was in place or not.
Yeah, those games definitely were a little bit better than some of us might have thought we were going to get as far as competitive. Sometimes after that first leg, you're like, I don't know about that second one. It might not be so competitive, but Chelsea in true form of, they were the defending champions. They didn't lay down. They fought hard. Unfortunately for them, Madrid was too much. That first leg, letting Benzema just walk all over you at Stamford Bridge was the killer.
Absolutely killer.
Yeah.
It's a shame, but I thought they played great. Almost perfect. I thought they played probably 80% of that match was in favor of Chelsea. It's just you can't give Benzema that much space, and the form he's in. How do you just leave him just chilling unmarked in the box? Like, right when that was clipped in, I was like, that's in, no doubt, because that man hasn't missed.
That's my only gripe with with picking that answer for the poll question too, is Karim Benzema's form. Like, is City going to be able to stop him? We thought Chelsea, they could probably handle him and shut him down. They've been very good defensively, and they absolutely couldn't. So can City now have the task of shutting that man down? That's going to be a big question
for Madrid. Real Madrid. It was like kind of the two legs were of the old guard. Benzema getting his 4 goals, and then you got Luka Modric setting up Rodrigo with that beautiful outside the foot assist to really make that a true exciting leg. And it was just respect to them. Again, I think I talked shit about just like Real Madrid kind of having that older guard, the Toni Krooses of the world, Modric, Benzema, kind of trying to weed them out and go to the new boys with your Camavingas and Vinicius Jr. is going to be an insanely good player. He is ridiculously fast. I think he has that nose for the ball, and he's assisted. And when you have Benzema in form, I think all you have to do is kind of what he did, just clip it up and let the Frenchman do what he does.
Yeah, they have some firepower coming down the wings there and sending it into Benzema. Definitely, they're going to be a tough out. They're definitely going to be a tough out. You know what else is tough is cancer, testicular cancer. And we got to give a little credit to our sponsors before we move on. And it is the start of spring, which also marks the start of Testicular Cancer Awareness Month in April. Manscaped has partnered with Testicular Cancer Society to bring awareness to men's health and early cancer detection. Manscaped is committed to raising awareness for the most common form of cancer in men's age 15 and 35 and is giving support for fighters, survivors, and families impacted by testicular cancer. As part of the We Save the Balls initiative, get your 20% off, free shipping. Use promo code A2D, like we've been telling you from the jump, on manscaped.com. Very simple. It's 20% off, free shipping, everything you buy, anytime. Promo code A2D. So it's time to throw out your old hygiene habits and upgrade your life with Manscaped.
Trust me.
You wouldn't have such a nicely decorated kitchen behind you if he wasn't taking care of his boys. That's all I'm going to say. That's all. It all comes full circle, Danny.
You're a smart man.
So Dan, if you want to go back to the kitchen background,
if you want to keep it like this,
use your promo code A2D. Go to manscaped.com and you will have a kitchen like that.
Exactly. That should be like in the small print. It's like, warning, you will not get this actual
the actual kitchen will not come with order. Because people are that stupid. They're like, where's my kitchen?
Why did my kitchen not come with this Manscaped Lawnmower 2.0?
Yo, what's up, Margie? Lord Walker popped on. He heard we were actually saying nice things about Liverpool today.
We said a lot of nice things about Liverpool today. You can ask Eric.
Or just go back to the beginning. Like, subscribe, click.
That whole song and dance. You already should be, but
yes,
do it again.
Yes.
But no, we have said a little recap for our new people. Mark, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Yes, we have a semifinal Champions League. Brian and I think are on the side of Liverpool. I think we both are, they've been the best team in Europe this year, right? And City they're pretty much neck and neck. And the result this past weekend, 2-2, I think just says and speaks volumes of the quality of both teams and how close they actually are. Is that better? Too far?
I don't know. It sounded like you were right on my.
Is it good?
Right in my living room.
Sorry, this is like a work mic, and it's pretty crappy, but it looks cool. But hopefully you can hear me a little bit better. But yeah, we are on the Liverpool train as of right now, barring any, Villarreal, Unai Emery, magic, and shutting out Liverpool through both legs. Other than that, I don't see any.
I don't know if I'm actually riding on that train, but I'm observing.
I do the eye test, and I think that game this weekend between
Liverpool
tells you that these are the two best teams, and
it's
by far fitting that
by far
it was a 2-2 draw because,
yeah,
again, if one of those teams would have lost, that would have been unfair. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I'm sure we got 2 weeks until Champions League kicks back up, so we'll really dig deep and kind of do some predictions probably next week on what we got going down.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, we got time until the 26th, so we won't make anything official yet. But just scratching the surface on paper, Liverpool's clearly the favorite. I still think I would put Madrid as a close second just because of the way they found a way to score on Chelsea, followed by City, then Villarreal. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting Final Four here.
Yeah, Eric, that's kind of what we were saying in the beginning of the show. It's exciting. That's what the 1 point difference there, because the last few years we've had, the league winner pretty much walking away with it at this point. So yeah, it's exciting for a, supporter of neither of those teams and kind of just a neutral. It'll be fun.
Neither one of them have, an extremely difficult schedule going down the stretch there. So it's just, again, it's going to be who doesn't play that one game down to a lesser competition, who stays focused all the way through these final fixtures in the Premier League, and handles their business. If they both do perfectly, then we'll be crowning City by 1 point at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. But we know just by experience and all that's not going to happen. They're both not going to run through perfectly. Somebody's going to have a hiccup. They both might have a hiccup. It'll be one of those weekends where, City drops points to somebody and the Liverpool fans start licking their lips, and then they go and do the same thing. And then the next week, Liverpool comes out and maybe they don't just dominate as much as you think. And everybody's like, oh, here's City's week to pull away with it. And it's just been kind of that back and forth this year. No one's just grabbed it and ran with it. City's schedule is cake. It definitely is. But Liverpool's isn't that difficult either, to be honest with you.
Yeah, City have obviously FA Cup with Liverpool on Saturday. Then they got a quick turnaround Wednesday at home against Brighton. That should be a win. Then next Saturday they have Watford at home. That should be a win. Then they have Leeds on the road. Obviously the Madrid tie in between those two. And then you got Newcastle at home, at West Ham on the 15th of May, and then you close out the season at home to Villa.
Yeah, and Liverpool has United, Everton, Newcastle, Spurs, Villa, Southampton, and then Liverpool closes out their season with Wolves.
What's up,
so
Greggy?
really, I mean, Liverpool's only real big hurdle. I mean, I guess you never know what you're going to get with United. United could give you something with Ronaldo there, and maybe Spurs. I'm hoping in May 7th. I'm going to be a huge Liverpool fan that day. I'm going to need their help. I think going down this stretch on my end as an Arsenal supporter, but it's definitely out of the two. Ever so slightly, City's schedule is definitely a bit weaker, I would say. So,
Yeah, and I wouldn't even consider West Ham. I mean, in the league, they've been pretty mediocre as of late. I wouldn't be that scared.
Yeah, see, here he goes talking shit. He can just it's funny because he has
this.
I know,
Damn it.
because he has nothing better to do. It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
He's trying to make good TV up here.
Yeah. Because his Sixers are trash ass and they're going to get knocked out in the first round.
Hey, keep it on another show.
Yeah, so he has to come out somewhere and do something. So here he goes when I've actually talked good about his team today, and he wants to keep on chatting. So that's fine. Again, I knew my team's expectations going into the season. You were clueless on the grand stage of things, like most Liverpool fans, and focused in on your Liverpool blinders only and couldn't see the big picture for the rest of the league. But I did, and I was realistic, and I picked Arsenal to finish 6th, and it looks like they're probably going to finish there. So we can just
I'm holding on to my train
crush
ticket.
that now, yeah. If Adam wants to hop on your little toot train on your way to that's fine, but I will
I'll take
reserve
the train. I'll see you at King's Cross Station. I'll take the train up to Liverpool.
I was gonna say I'll reserve myself on the side here and just watch the train fly by at this point. I'm not a train hopper, sorry.
My train I'm making my train stop in Nottingham before I'm going to Liverpool. Before my Chelsea,
My train's stuck in Harrison from now to the end of the season. My train's yeah, I'm just smelling it up in North Jersey.
That's not even funny to say.
Yeah, he's typed it like 11 times because he wanted acknowledgement that
we got Bear Poke 1 and then Bear Poke 2 with Lord Walker and Dan trying to rile everybody up.
Yeah, I know. We were having a nice, calm discussion show today without any angst or anger, and
coming in,
boom.
I mean, that happens, though,
I know.
And we've even said nice things about Liverpool the whole show. Probably more nice things in this whole show that we've had this whole season.
Oh, don't give me the devastated. Oh, cry me a river, the devastated by injury. You want to talk about injury? Do you want to talk about injury? Do you? Come on. Come on. Stop. Stop. God. Finger off the pulse. Finger off the pulse.
What's up, Willie?
One eye, and it's solely up Liverpool's and Jurgen Klopp's butthole. That's where he's got one eye on it. That's it. Talk about injury. You want to? Oh, Jesus Christ! You want to talk about? I'll go down the whole list of my entire season. You want to talk about the whole season? You want to go back from Brentford down? You want to run through all 40 fixtures or whatever we played? We could do it. You want to talk about injury? God,
do it.
Injury.
Do it.
Because Patrick Bamford got hurt? Really? One guy? Come on, man.
And Calvin Phillips, but I know, I understand.
Whatever.
It's a coach thing. I'm telling you.
It's a whole thing.
Jesse Marsch has the same team, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
Not taking any sides, but...
Nope. Yeah, those guys aren't back for Jesse. So.
Patty did try to come back, but...
And died on the pitch.
And I like Patty, former Chelsea lad. He's my guy. I know. Lord, it's like... I feel like we've had this, and it's been like an Arsenal-Liverpool battle. We've had that already, Eric. We've had a debate.
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying my train ride to fourth, I guess.
And at this point, again, it goes back to people having realistic expectations and people just talking junk for the sake of talking junk. And in my case, when we did a breakdown preseason and we picked our winners and losers and this, that, and the other thing, I did it as an objective observer and wasn't a homer and didn't put Arsenal up in first place and had unrealistic expectations of the youngest team in the Premier League. So, no. Said Arteta. See, that's the funny thing, too. He thinks, like, that's the loser response because I support my manager at the moment. Because that's my team and that's my manager. So am I giving him support? Did I go out and handpick Mikel Arteta? No, I didn't. I didn't pick Unai Emery. I didn't pick Arsene Wenger. That's not my position. My position is to sit back and look at the thing as a whole and look at the development of a team. And from where they were for the last 2 years since Adam and I have been doing this show to where they are now, it's night and freaking day. And if you want to argue that, then I'm going to continue to say you got your head up your arse and you only pay attention to one team because you're not seeing it. That's all I'm going to say. I see it because I'm inside those doors. I see what happens with your team because I put myself inside your doors. And I had respect for your team. But just like and Eric will tell you, your other LF whatever fan, whatever you guys call yourselves, LGRQ, you know where it's at, community. You guys put yourself here whether you're there or not. And that's okay. I get that. But, you got to have a little bit of realism. That's all.
We're real. Me and Lord Walker would have a spirited debate where I'm only talking facts.
Yeah.
I'm in a little better position, though, because right now, Chelsea is a better team than Arsenal. But
absolutely,
I give my hand. I tip your cap. I tip the cap I kiss the shoe of Liverpool this year. They are a great team. You guys have a fantastic team. I'll give you that.
Won't do it.
I have to be real.
I'm not saying that they're not, but
I'll take my blue glasses off. But you got to take your red glasses off sometimes too, Lord.
Yeah. Those red glasses are permanent fixtures, I think.
Google your managers complaining about scheduling and fixtures.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's like you take the personality of your manager, right? So they got a whiny, arrogant German, so now they've all become whiny, arrogant Germans. It's okay. I get it. It's not a problem. Winning is winning. It's fine. But they haven't locked it in yet. And like I said, I was at least realistic with the expectations of my team this year. That's why I'm not upset. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm not upset. Do I want to win? Of course I want to win. Every year I start this and I want to say first place, right? That's what everybody wants to do. Norwich. You ask a Norwich fan on day one of the Premier League season, who's winning the Premier League? What's a Norwich fan going to say? Yeah, the Canaries, of course, because everybody wants to. But when you're really sitting down and you're trying to break this down and you're trying to look at it objectively, sometimes you gotta be real when it comes to your own team.
Thanks for stopping in, bro. Good seeing you.
Thanks, Mark. Later, bro.
Good guy.
Yeah.
You know what I say to Jurgen Klopp's responses for, the jam-packed schedule? Red card.
Yeah. Throw red
I said
cards
at the beginning of the
face.
show, you guys missed it. That I think it's laughable that you complain about your scheduling fixtures right now. You're in 3 competitions.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen, though? Honestly, now I'm going to switch around. And this is the portion where it's just like, why? You're in 3 competitions. Again, you should be happy. but he's still complaining about it. And you're still winning, though.
Yeah, that's it. Just you take the personality of their gaffer there.
I think Jurgen just wanted to come out and say that just in case they bottled that, Benfica tie somehow.
Yeah.
And blame it on our schedule's too crazy.
Yeah, we were tired. Yeah. It's all right. Hey, again, if I had to put money on the line, I'm picking them to win Champions League at this point. But
I probably would as well.
I guess we'll, maybe I'll hop on the old light blue bus on the 16th for this FA Cup fixture.
Don't do that.
Yeah, just align the New York, the love of New York, and hop on NYCFC City F. Yeah, the old blue bus this coming day here.
Maybe it's a Liverpool Chelsea crash course in the FA Cup. I respect Palace, but
no, now I'm a bully. I told you can come back on any time, but see, you gotta. I don't see a membership anymore. You gotta have the A2D membership. We talk about these things.
I know there's no beef here.
There's no beef. It's just good old competitive banter. No, I don't like that light. I'm just gonna sit.
I know it's like pissing rain here. So.
Oh yeah, I think my angry yell about injuries just brought the rain clouds open finally here because it got real dark outside.
Just a typical day in the northeastern part of the country where it's 80 degrees 1 second and pissing rain thunder the next. I know. But yeah, it's
need a little bit of light there.
Respect to Palace, but I think Chelsea wins on Sunday.
Yeah,
unless they spend all the gas and that's they spent their nut in Madrid and come out flat.
I'm honestly expecting a Chelsea-Liverpool FA Cup final. That's what I'm.
Rematch of the League Cup.
Yes, and maybe Chelsea can take one back from them this time.
Nice and sunny in Vancouver. Nice.
Sunny.
It was sunny here about 15 minutes ago.
It was a beautiful day yesterday, beautiful day today, and then
beautiful tomorrow.
Yes, the rain just had to hit us. Final score update, by the way, too. Rangers did see that one out. Eddie will be super happy. His boys advanced in Europa. I don't know if they have the matchups yet or not, but we basically, like we said before, Red Bull Leipzig, Rangers, Frankfurt, and West Ham. So 2 German clubs, a Scottish club and an English club will be.
I think they wouldn't mind seeing another German club. They seem to handle Dortmund in that 2-legger before, so
yeah. Let's see if I can
West Ham would not be the team they would want to see. Declan Rice, another goal. Jarrett Bowen seems to be the 2 guys that are getting the job done for West Ham, so that's not a surprise.
So I don't see. Maybe somebody out there knows if they see or if it pops up here once these games are final. Because I know West Ham and Red Bull Leipzig are not playing each other, but I don't know who's playing who yet. I haven't seen if it's Frankfurt, West Ham, or if it's going to be the 2 German clubs. But they're definitely not playing each other.
I mean, that was an impressive win for Leipzig, though. I mean, Atalanta can score goals at will, and they held them to 1 goal in the whole 2 legs.
Yeah.
Shut them out at home, no less.
Yeah, impressive.
They're a good team. They're sitting there, I think, 3rd maybe in the Bundesliga.
Damn.
No chill from Dan ever.
Dan doesn't have one either, so that's the best part. Like, there was nothing funny about any of like Dan's comment until you realize that Dan also does not have one. Like, so that's what makes it a Dan comment.
Yeah, for real.
So people need to find the humor in.
You guys need to get on that, though. Come on.
Yeah, see,
Lord
there you go.
watches
Lord
enough
Walker.
A2D stuff. Maybe more during. Well, you got basketball coming up, but
yeah, I guess we'll get ready here and talk a little upcoming Prem schedule. Before we do that, we got to recognize a couple more sponsors. Good old All Campus, home of the A2D ramp booth, 20% off everything in the store, including the hats, the shirts, and the team cornhole sets. But you got to be a subscriber. So subscribe, be able to show them if you're not going online and you're actually heading down to Ocean City and walking in the store. Just let them know you subscribe to A2D. Tommy and I had a good time at the old Phil's game yesterday, ran into him. He was definitely getting some recognition from some people out there for A2D. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to hop on a couple Phillies post-game shows every once in a while with these guys too now. So that'll be exciting going into the baseball season. And then, of course, our other great sponsor, good old Alan Foy, eXp Realty. If you're looking to buy or sell the home, if you want a career or, want to get into brokerage, contact Alan Foy, man. eXp Realty, LLC, 302-682-8820. Visit them, alan.foy@exprealty.com. So two great sponsors keeping this show going for us here. So our beauty, our baby, the Prem, the one that brings up so much arguments and frustration and
that's why they're the best league in the world.
It is, and let's not shy away from that. You and I have said that now for some time, and look again as we wind down. I know we got two teams from Spain in the Final Four here at Champions League, but once again, we're at least represented in the Prem with two teams. Prem still has one team left in the Europa, one team left in the Europa Conference League, so. Pretty dominant again as far as the big out-of-league cups, interleague cups, and things like that. Prem's still representing super hard.
Absolutely.
As the best league in the world.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too many intriguing matchups this weekend.
No, Saturdays. I mean, for me as an Arsenal fan, Saturday
it's big
has
for you in different ways than just.
Yeah, like I said, honestly, I'm probably going to step away this Saturday, and I'll go back and watch before the show next Wednesday. But I don't think I'm parking my bus.
I think Chelsea Arsenal next Wednesday.
That's next Wednesday, yeah, and it's a weird start time at 2:45, so it'll be like basically just ending as the show's coming on.
Yeah.
So that's the bigger one. Again, we got Southampton. I'm gonna just act like it's not even happening, and hopefully we do what we're supposed to do and get our 3 points. Bigger for that is actually in the morning. I probably will watch the Spurs-Brighton game and make seagull noises all morning. Yeah, Spurs are super hot right now, and it's a very bad time. Spurs got the hot, and Arsenal got the cold, and it's just changing of the guard for that fourth place spot at the moment. So those are two of the games on Saturday, and then you got United in Norwich, which even their fans probably don't care too much about.
I mean, at this point, can Norwich really pull it off?
What, and beat United? And
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Oh, the Lord Walker money pot.
There you go.
You got Spursy. United, Southampton, he's taking at home as probably a big underdog. Watford, Brentford draw. I disagree. I think Brentford's in good form.
Yeah, I think
Unsung hero Ivan Toney.
Brentford's been in very good form of lately.
I think they beat I think they beat Watford.
Watford's trying to hold on to their lives down there, but even as bad as Everton is, they're already starting to gain a little bit of their. It's really looking like it's gonna be Burnley, Watford, Norwich. Like every time we say like another team is creeping down into that realm of possibility of relegation, they all find a way to look bad, and I would be very shocked at this point if it's not Burnley, Watford, Norwich heading down.
Yeah, because the other teams do just enough. I mean, we've seen Leeds in good form.
Oh, the mush. It's over now.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. See, I told you Arsenal's going to finish sixth. Good old Eric the Mush. 2-0.
Honestly, though, if you win, it should be more than that. I mean, Southampton just gave up how many goals to Chelsea last weekend? It could have been like 9-0.
Yeah, but we don't score, dude. I mean, it's like all of a sudden, like we don't score. We're really hurt on the defensive side of the ball. Ramsdale's quad is still not 100%, but he's trying to fight through it and force his way back, which is killing the way he plays off the ball. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Hey, I'm not gonna say one way or another because how could I, as an Arsenal fan, have any bit of confidence after these last two games? Like, how could I? Like, you just can't do it. You got to be realistic sometimes. Like, I can't come out here and like chest puffed out and talking junk like we're this great team after what I've seen in these last two games. So
he was correct.
Yeah, because it's your team. You're not a mush when it's your team. When you bet on other people's teams in games that they're supposed to win and they lose, that's what makes you mush. Your bets aren't bad. Just when you bet on Arsenal, you screw me every time. So.
Hey, if you're picking correct score, that's probably a good payout. 2-2.
Yeah.
I've steered away from doing the correct scores this year. I did a lot of that last year. It's just too hard.
I've just been staying away from all of it. It's no need, especially with. He
was right. He made a good pick. I mean, I thought that was the best outcome, probably. I mean, you knew it was going to be a high-scoring game, probably over 3.5. If you're a betting man.
Yeah, you got it.
I had Benfica yesterday because it was like plus 900 and they almost pulled it out just to win the game, not the leg.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while when you get those nutty ones, you want to throw a couple there, like. Yeah, if $10 wins you 90, why not? But I've stayed away from all of it, especially with baseball starting back up because baseball could be very dangerous with live in-game bets now and all these things, and the fact that they play every day, and it's just there's no need to even go down that road unless you're going to use BetUS. Then go right ahead.
Sign up.
Yeah, sign up and go bet your life away. But no, bet responsibly. Call 1-800-GAMBLER if you have a problem.
I deal with that stuff all day, every day. Please.
Yeah.
You do not want to be RG locked for betting funds that you don't have.
Oh, man.
Bet within your limits, please.
Yes.
Jesus, Dan, relax.
I get to a point where I don't read them mostly anymore. I just let you handle that portion of it.
Yeah, Eric, baseball is dangerous. Very.
Yeah. But I am off to a good start in the A2D Fantasy Baseball League.
Holler.
Battling Pete and Chrome's team this week. Opening week's really long because because it opened on a weekend, so we got the beginning weekend and then all of that this week. So it's going to come down to Sunday. we're neck and neck here. So
neck
and neck.
What will be the score of the Chelsea match, and who will score? Well, the semis are at Wembley, right? So it doesn't really matter. Both teams are from London, so they're going to get some. Both squads are going to get a good draw. I don't know. I really think that no matter if Chelsea spent their last little bit of energy for the Madrid game,
2-0,
I would still say a rotated side or whatever you want to call it. Chelsea team can beat Palace's A team.
Yeah, I know
Palace has been doing like decent, and Patrick Vieira has won my respect this season, but I don't know. I think they may be in over their head again. I don't want to come back and eat my words by saying that. So
I'm gonna say 2-0 Chelsea and Pulisic scores because
that's not a bad option. I don't know. Mason Mount's been in fantastic form recently. I could see him scoring again.
He has. I just know all the.
I don't know what lineup he's going to throw out there. I mean, if Georgie's gets a start, he hasn't been playing that much, but maybe he'll give Jorginho a start in the midfield. Maybe he's due for a PK, but I don't know. I think Chelsea win. Probably a little closer than I would like, but I think Chelsea win the game. Mason Mount, maybe anytime goal scorer. I think he's ever since he got a nice little haircut, he's been on fire. So
yeah,
that was the key.
Sometimes you just need a nice haircut.
Feel fresh, baby. Maybe he got a haircut downstairs too with Manscaped.
There you go. That's why he's a little bit quicker.
Jamie, hello.
Oh, Jamie, welcome back. We were just talking about that. Huddersfield climbing their way up into the mix.
How about it?
We're gonna back you since you've been so loyal. And I would like to see somebody challenge Bournemouth even for that number 2 spot and make Bournemouth enter into that playoff. So let's say a little 2-1 Huddersfield.
Whoa.
Let's get them 3 points and on their way to building that momentum and getting their way back up into the Prem.
Yeah, I mean Bournemouth does have 2 games in hand over Huddersfield, but
they do. I know.
Separated by 4 points, so I mean QPR, yeah, mid-table side, not bad. I think you should handle them. They've been decent this year, QPR, but where's that game at? Is that at Huddersfield? Yes, it is.
Nice.
So it's at Huddersfield. Yeah, you should win that. We're doing good, man. Hope you're well.
Yeah,
Across
absolutely. Bournemouth has to play Borough, and Borough's still fighting this week, so this could be an interesting weekend. But Huddersfield just at this point, regardless if they can't get up into that second spot, they just got to keep doing what they're doing. A few more games left here, continue to grab some points, and get themselves ready for this playoff where they will have one of the higher seeds, I would say, definitely. So.
Now, Forest also has 2 games in hand over Huddersfield, so they can jump Huddersfield here within the next week.
Yeah, they could definitely make a move. Forest is 2 points behind them, so it's gonna be. I would say Huddersfield and Forest are probably. Oh man, I don't want to do it to your Forest squad again because the last time we called them a lock for anything. But I would say Huddersfield and Forest are pretty much locked to at least get into this tournament here, this playoff.
The Forest have won, I think, 5 in a row, maybe more, in the league. So,
and I believe it's, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's 46 fixtures for the regular season for the championship.
Teams, you play everybody twice.
Yeah, so 46 fixtures. So that's the number to look at. That's the target there as these teams are winding down. Like Adam was saying, Huddersfield's played 41, where Forest and Bournemouth have still only played 39. So there's a few teams that need to do a little catch up here, but it's going to be an exciting that. Like we say every year, and now the fact that with the TV rights and the streaming, like we'll be able to watch that whole playoff. I believe probably on ESPN. I believe they hold everything for the championship. So all those games during that time will be live and streaming, and it's just more fun to talk about because it's one thing to. For years when you see them and you don't really get to watch many, maybe you get to watch one, but to be able to go in and actually watch all those games with these teams trying to do, monstrous things of getting themselves up into the Prem is awesome.
Yeah, Jamie. Yeah, about that. I don't know. We've had a good record in the past in the World Cup against England so far. So
yeah, we missed you last week. When we talked about the draw a little bit, but yeah, it's
say we can't take it to you again, right?
That should definitely be fun, brother. We
probably not.
No, probably not. Although we are 1-0-1 lifetime in matchups in World Cup against the big brothers across the pond. So
it's exciting. Again, as we get closer, we'll be definitely keeping an eye and talking more about World Cup coming up in November. But yeah, it's exciting to draw England. I mean, you want to test yourself against the best in the world, right? And England seemed to be, probably third best odds, second best odds to win this whole thing this year.
So let me ask somebody over on that side as well, being from England and a supporter of England that you are. Obviously, I would think you as well, like we do, would probably lean towards wanting to see Scotland or Wales as the other team in there and not necessarily Ukraine for the same reasons I think that we would, and that nostalgia pumped up. Plus, England against Scotland or England against Wales is always awesome. Little bit of banter and viewership there. So just wanted to see what Jamie's opinion was on the topic of that final team in our group.
Thanks, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we did, bro. We try to be honest, man. See, some people understand we try to be honest and objective.
Try to be.
I know.
I think that's what we prided ourselves on from when we started this thing about 2 years ago, or for that, probably. Almost.
There you go. I kind of figured that would be the answer, would be Wales. Especially from somebody from Huddersfield. Like, it just...
damn it, I want it.
Yeah.
Feed me Wales.
I know. I'm just worried about like a Gareth Bale, Freudian slip, a Gareth Bale, like extra time, like you've been battling, and well, it wouldn't be extra time because it'd be group stage, but like maybe like 92nd minute of stoppage time, and they get like this bullshit free kick, and Gareth Bale just puts it in because that's what he does, and somehow we lose like 1-0 to Wales. So. I keep leaning towards Scotland. I don't want to underplay Scotland either. There are some very talented footballers on the Scotland team, but if I had to pick the three, that would be the one I would pick to kind of help our chances.
Scotland's been so close, but yet so far, I think they're going to come up short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he would actually enjoy playing for you too, because he only likes playing for his club and playing golf. So he got subbed in that game the other day at like the 86th minute, and he just doesn't look like it's so blatantly obvious. But
they're booing him at Madrid, so
they always do.
They even know he's made it very clear on what his priorities lie. So. Dan, shut up. No, it's not. We talked about Liverpool for half the fight.
He knows. If anything, I do my best to avoid talking about Arsenal. No, you're welcome to swear on this show.
Right. I just did because Dan's an asshole.
We're not closed circuit radio, so go full
That's
blown.
The fun thing about the internet. You can say what you want.
Yeah.
Unless the big boss says, "Whoa, too much." But I'm
and again, not surprising.
His mind on his own show most of the time.
To hear an Englishman say "fuck Scotland" is just definitely not a surprise here. So a little Braveheart moment.
I would say I'm actually heading over across the pond this summer. I'm pretty stoked.
Oh, brave you.
Yeah. Going to London, I'll be in Edinburgh, Scotland.
I'm not allowed off this rock, so.
You're staying put.
I'm restricted.
I'll take a tour of Arsenal Stadium and get you some gear. How about that?
It sounds fantastic. I don't really have much else. Ooh, I'll give this to since Dan stayed on really long for him today. They did announce that Vancouver is replacing Montreal as a 2026 World Cup site. So that's got to be huge for
Vancouver.
Danny.
Nice.
Yeah, Vancouver is taking Montreal's spot. So congratulations to Dan. He'll be able to go watch some World Cup games. Hopefully our group gets put there, so he's forced to go watch the U.S. games.
He'll be outside with anti-U.S. signage.
Oh, there you go. You better go visit Jamie.
You know what? Jamie, I think we are planning on going to visit Yorkshire.
Well, look at that.
I think we're going to stop in York, possibly. So we're making our way up that. We're taking our train from London up to York, and I think we're going to go all the way up to Edinburgh by train.
Nice.
So
maybe you guys can link up and get to a game.
Yeah,
that'd
I'll
be
stop
dope.
in Huddersfield and say what's up.
Hell yeah. So, red card, yellow card. Before we get into it and head on out here, I've been doing a bad job of giving them their recognition, but our red card, yellow card segment is brought to you by Aria Public Adjusting. Do you have damage or to your home or property? They are able to help. Don't fight your homeowner's insurance alone. Contact Aria Public Adjusting, 813-564-3364. Licensed in Florida, Pennsylvania, and 13 other states on this great side of the pond. So if you need some help, don't go at it alone. Call them up. Get some help. Red card, yellow card. I simply have one, and I hate to even give it a red card because you know my personality, and I love the fight and I love the grit in this game. But the fact that the cops had to intervene, not just in the Man City Atletico tunnel with these guys beefing, but there was a lot of things that the city and the Chelsea fans were fighting in Spain because they both happened to be in Spain playing two teams from Madrid at the same time.
Great
and
scheduling.
there's rumors that they're just battling it out there. And I warn people, I mean, obviously in Europe, they're a little bit more in tune with it, but before you go off to a foreign country and, commit crimes such as fighting and damaging things, just know the penalties and know the laws and know what you're getting yourself into, so we don't hear anybody crying that they can't get out or can't come back because they did something stupid, like our boy Harry Maguire a couple years ago getting thrown into the Greek prison. So there's one thing to be super passionate and support your team and go crazy, and then to where we have to constantly have police intervention, and it goes beyond that is just dumb.
It's pretty sad. I mean,
yeah.
I know, people will probably come at me by even saying this, but I mean, obviously, there's videos of Chelsea fans like destroying a cafe. I forget where they were. There's always going to be fucking the hooliganism going on, and it's just funny and almost not embarrassing, but it's like you're not even in your own country, yet you're battling each other in Madrid when you're not even playing each other, though. I don't know. That's
yeah,
very strange. I don't get it. It just keeps giving, bad name towards the English hooligans.
Yeah.
Or just assholes. Just drunk ass.
Yeah. Like Jamie. No, just kidding. Love you, Jamie.
Can't say that about him. They got a big game tomorrow. Come on.
No, they do, and I will actually be. I'll be checking that out. Anybody else that wants to support Huddersfield, you can find that one on the quote unquote worldwide leader streaming, because they do handle all the championship. So should be a good game. Be out here supporting Huddersfield.
Yeah. I guess the only yellow card, I didn't really have too much of a red. I kind of said it already with, I think scheduling fixture complaining about, being in so many competitions and complaining about schedule fixtures kind of ridiculous. But another thing I had was, I know we didn't really get to talk about it because we had a lot to get to today, but the MLS and Liga MX meeting up again in the UEFA CONCACAF Champions League final.
Yes.
Seattle trying to give the MLS just one.
If anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Seattle.
They play Pumas, and this is an opportunity for an MLS team to win. And I hope I don't have to start giving yellows to Seattle letting us down, but
yeah, I think they can do it. I mean, we talk about how it sounds funny sometimes, and they're struggling now, but the league kind of rotates around teams like Seattle, and they're one of the greatest champions in MLS. And if anybody's gonna do it, and the fact that they did get to draw Pumas and some of these other teams kind of got knocked out, it's a
good year with Club America being so bad, and last year's winner Cruz Azul, they got shut out by Pumas at home. So
yeah, and that first leg starts right when Champions League is firing back up as well on the Europe end. So that'll be April 27th is the first leg. And then they come right back with a May 4th second leg. So we'll have a Champions League champion soon. And typical Dan way to end it. Anti-American.
He doesn't want any Cascadian team. He doesn't want a Portland. Doesn't want Seattle.
No, the only team he would root for in the MLS to win would be his Whitecaps. So,
and they're never gonna get there. So
no.
But
he said, "I'm no hooligan, but the nice clothes." It's awesome.
Agreed. It is part of football, but yeah,
yes,
it's kind of sad and still embarrassing. But whatever.
Yeah.
There's always bad apples. There's bad apples here too.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie, if you don't know, do your research on our home market in Philadelphia sports, and you'll see we know all about that. So
I had one last night.
Throwing
bones on the field.
Yeah. So,
but I think that's all I had for today. Really, we really talked.
I think
decent bit.
I think next week is going to be pretty much. We'll handle some Prem and MLS and Championship probably, because we'll be on a break from everything else for that week. So
yeah, kind of going over the FA Cup.
We'll have FA Cup final lined up and all that as well. So
I believe Liverpool's Man City are on Saturday, and then Chelsea Crystal Palace is on Sunday.
Nice.
I don't know what that means. My apple, my peach, apple of my eye.
You're the apple of Dan's eye.
I don't believe that for 1 second.
Yeah.
I you know what, Dan? One day I will get out. I'd like to get out to Vancouver.
Yeah. I'm also not welcome in Canada, so let's.
Facts.
Yeah, which I'm okay with. I've been there plenty of times. It was nice. I'm
a bad apple. Not even close. I think I'm the good apple.
Oh God, I'm not even gonna acknowledge it. I'm going off. We're signing off.
Say Bobby.
Hey,
Bobby
you too.
Bobby Blue Eyes? Why do I start talking slander on Klopp in Liverpool and I get freaking, his henchmen out of the woodwork
Yeah.
saying fuck you?
And Eric singing "Oh Canada." Things are going off the rails here. We got to
They
get out of
really
here.
are.
Why am I restricted? I'm not oh.
See you, Eric.
All right. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Love you.
It's been
See,
fun.
we'll be back again.
Banter.
Yeah, we'll be back again in our normal time
Yes.
on Wednesday next week, unless anything crazy happens. But we plan to be same 4:30 to 6 next Wednesday. Check out all the great shows on A2D. Again, make sure you like, subscribe, follow. Everybody who joined us, thank you very much. We always appreciate everybody's input, good, bad, or in between. Jamie, we're glad you're back. And yeah, man, that's all I got.
It's good for me. Yeah, man. We'll talk to you guys next week. Back to our usual Wednesday, 4:30 to 6 Eastern time. Adam, Brian, Wheeler. We out of here, guys. Don't forget. Fuck VAR.
Yeah.